All right, let's see if we can do this all the way, because I keep getting interrupted by people coming in and out, and I need to get these thoughts out. I need to take this time to talk with myself. There's someone hanging out in their backyard looking at me. Whatever. Okay. Week 7. A very eye-opening week. A very, unlocking week. It unlocked a lot of things in my brain and rewired a lot of things in my brain that I have been looking for and have been trying to investigate further into. Because I ended last week in a little bit of funk where I wouldn't let myself continue on. Something was stopping me from taking the time out of my day to read the next chapter, to understand what I need to do next. And sorry, he's still walking around. Whatever. So in the beginning, the first thing the chapter talked about is about how art is not about thinking something up. It's about the opposite. It's about getting something down. The direction is important here. So that was very interesting to hear, because I have always had a hard time connecting my art itself to like a deeper meaning. Like, I understand art can be used, like, I understand the concept of art is a form of expression, and art can be used to dive deeper into things. Art's always been a part of my life, so it's just always with me, and it's interesting to try to rethink this way of doing art and having it like dive deeper and be explorative in my own thought process, because I've always, it's hard not, because we were taught in school to always look out for external research and like gather intel and reference things and bring things in, which is always good, of course, but I had only ever known to only do that and then think of the way the clothes are made on top of that, not I haven't connected the two between the digging deep into myself and understanding what I want to do and connecting that to my art in the sense of like the clothes making. So that's a thing I've had to come to terms with this week, is trying to rewire my brain to understand this art making in general. So that was a hurdle I had to go over this week, is understanding that I need to dig into my like head more, I guess, and like hear myself more, which just goes in more into the next thing. So the next bugs. This goes into the next thing, where this one, it talked about perfectionism. God, there's mosquitoes all over me. Okay, whatever. It's like so humid, so there's mosquitoes everywhere. But the next essay is about perfectionism, and one of the things that the chapter says is perfectionism has nothing to do with getting it right. It has nothing to do with fixing things. It has nothing to do with standards. Perfectionism is a refusal to let yourself move ahead. Wow. Hey, wow. This one too. Perfectionism is not a quest for the best. It's a pursuit of the worst in ourselves, the parts that tell us nothing we will do will ever be good enough, that we should try again. That, like, I fully, like, made a whole square, everything around that, because that one really, really spoke to me, because I think one of the main things that I've been struggling with these past few weeks is I feel like I can't hear my voice in my head, and I feel like I've lost my, like, not my creative drive, but like the intuition, I guess, like the the thing that's going to drive me forward and has the direction, the decision making and all that, I had felt like I'd lost that, and I didn't know what was wrong or what was the cause of that. And I think it's because with this book, the way that I see it is like the beginning is like breaking it down, breaking your brain down, back down to the foundation, like turning off all the things that you had before, like turning off the sensor in your brain, which is like the voice in your head that tells you aren't good enough and like you aren't doing things right. So it's like the act of knowing when that's coming through versus your actual voice, doing the things, like hearing them differently. And I think this chapter really made me realize that it has been the voice forward in my head, especially with all this decision making and art making and all that. It's been my sensor and not me in the forefront. So I have been attuned to listening to my sensor and listening to things I need to do and being hard on myself and thinking more in the like consumer mind where I think of what would other people think of this and not like how does this art serve me and what am I getting out of this. It's more like what would other people like thinking consumer forward, and it's like thinking in this hyper capitalistic way of what will get me like the most, and not thinking of like art and like the things I make as a form of expression. So both of those things were challenged this week, and I really just it broke down a lot of things in my brain that I've been trying to figure out, because I feel like I'm on the building up part. And the next part, moving on, let's go to the next part. We'll connect it. Well, I'll talk more, but so the next part, we're talking about risk, and risk and jealousy kind of go hand in hand. It's like how the perfectionism and listening kind of went hand in hand with me. The risk and because the next one was risk, and then it was talking about jealousy, and they both went hand in hand. This is what I underlined. We deny that in order to do something well, we must first be willing to do it badly. Living within these bounds, we may feel stifled, smothered, despairing, and bored if we stay in the limits. It's hard to take risks and move forward and try new things with this same perfectionism voice and outside perspective voice coming in. Yeah, and it's that, I think that connects with the jealousy side, where one of the things it says in here, jealousy is always a mask for fear that we aren't able to get what we want, frustration that somebody else seems to be getting what is rightfully ours, even if we are too frightened to reach out. So I think those two go hand in hand, because I think it's the fear manifesting first of not wanting to take the risk and jump out, and then it's because you had because I had the fear of not taking the risk, and I see other people who had taken the risk and things had gone right for them. That turns into jealousy, and is jealousy that I could have done this, I should have done that, I wish I did this, I think I could have done X, Y, and Z better than whatever. But this week was just very eye-opening and really did break down some barriers in my brain that I had and connected some things, because I think a hard part about this is I'm thinking it's like all gonna come crashing in at once and I'm just gonna be better, but it's hard to understand that this is a long path, and I'm gonna need to keep pushing through, because I will figure out things as I go. I keep having these things where I'm like, oh, I think I've like understood all I need to understand. And then like a few days go by and then I like don't understand anything in the world, if that makes sense. But this week really showed me how to make my art and what a good way to think about my art is. It's now, I think the misconnect right now I have in my brain is the applying it. And so I understand where the art needs to come from, and I understand the steps I need to take next, because one of the things on here was a jealousy map where you write like a list of people you're jealous of, a list of reasons why you're jealous of them, and then the action of like, well, what do you do to get to this? Like what you're jealous of, what do you need, what do I need to do to get to that? And that was also very eye-opening, that all my things were basically just do it. They're all things I can do and I want to do and I have the ability to do. But all of them were like, just keep going, just keep, like all my solutions were just literally just keep going at it and make more decisive moves. I'm feeling like I have the beginning of the ideas of how to keep moving forward and how to keep understanding myself. And it's the part that I'm stuck at is the execution and the next steps of how to like execute this and implement this in my life and get to the life I want and get to the state I want and the understanding of myself and my art that I want. So I hope I can understand that soon. But this week was a lot. I had to read this week over like a few times because it was just all very much things I needed to hear and very much eye-opening things, and made me understand myself better. And hopefully I can take these practices and start to implement them into my art making and understand what my art looks like now when I actually listen to myself and commit to that. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. A lot of things to think about, a lot of things to consider, and hopefully keep learning about. I dyed my hair blue, by the way. I've been sitting here for 12 minutes and haven't said anything about it, but I'm finding myself also. Got my eyebrow pierced too. What? So, blue hair eyebrow piercing. I'm changing. I said the other week, I was like, I'm starting to not recognize myself in a good way. I'm starting to feel whole again. I need to go inside. I'm getting swarmed by mosquitoes. So I think that'll do it for me. Talk to you later.